But first, maybe we can get your background and experience, Dave, and also maybe for everyone joining the space today, tell us about the story of EverEarn. 1 year in crypto is 3 years in the real world. What's been happening?
It certainly does feel like that, doesn't it? 3 years in crypto, 1 year, or 1 year in crypto, 3 years in the real world. Yeah. So, and my apologies. I'm in the process of driving the to doctor's appointments, so you may hear my little ones in the background from time to time. But yeah, I'm Dave Rahman. I've got almost 2 decades in the IT sector. More than half of that in a C-suite level role, meaning a chief information officer for top 100 MSP, and I advise upwards of 300 Canadian clients on their security posture. So that's me professionally, but it does mean very much so that I'm in. I was that IT nerd back when I was younger, and that's who I am as a career, and I've got a good feel for what's going on in the IT world, threat landscape, security landscape, all of the different policies, procedures, and regulations, ISO, NIST, and so on. This, for me, this has translated very well over to crypto because, of course, crypto is very much in information technology. And I got into crypto about 2 years ago now at this point. Time does seem to sort of fly by and dates get blurry. But yeah, about 2 years ago now. And I was very much like many of you joining for the first time, didn't know what I was doing, didn't know how to do it. I ended up, burning through a lot of money trying to figure out how to get onto the different blockchains and figure things out. But I dove into it, which is my IT nature. Dove into it, studied it, got into a couple different projects that I thought were really good and had the legs to go the distance. Met Trent along the way. And he and I, joined up about, oh my goodness, year and a half ago, almost a little more than that. Again, the dates get blurry, but he and I ended up in the same project, sort of helping that team, memes and stuff, and then we got tagged to be moderators and help out more and help out with a little bit of marketing and advertising for the project. But in that process, Trent and I got a chance to really get to know each other, get to know each other's families. And what we began to realize is what we didn't see in this space was a crypto startup basically trying to follow the rules that, well, just about any brick and mortar startup business would be following. And there seemed to be a lot of focus on, doing everything in-house, siloing yourselves, overhyping what was going on. A lot of way out long-term promises that may never have ever seen the light of day. And we decided that there's got to be a better way to do this. There's got to be a way to approach launching a startup cryptocurrency and then running a cryptocurrency where it actually has the ability to go the distance because it follows a lot of the same tried and true methods of starting up your own business to give it the best chances at long-term success, growth, and evolution. So we spent months planning out and developing EverEarn, which we launched, of course, the end of January. We're still here, still in this space under EverEarn. We continue to meet with the community on a daily basis, every single day. We've expanded the team out to include, Jason and Brandy, Wendy, and Doug, and continue to meet with the community on a daily basis. We've expanded out some of our offerings, and now we're really getting ready to expand to additional blockchains, and expand with the partnerships that we've developed along the way as well too.
Okay, great, Dave. Yeah, so you're expanding EverEarn. So yeah, if we can just go into some details about the Ethereum launch that's happening shortly.
Yeah, so we're super excited about this, and again, one of the things that myself and the team, because we do put a really big focus on team, is we've put together a team that really comes from a diversified background. Comes from the IT sector, comes from the online business world sector, real estate sector, customer service and logistics sector, and of course, social media sector. And what we've done with these diversified backgrounds is really taken the time to study the markets, watch the trends, watch the geopolitical developments that are going on. And one of the things that, of course, and those of you who've heard me talk before will know that, because I'll say this again, the economic outlook, through 2022, of course, has been harsh. But heading into 2023 is at the very least to say is looking difficult. So again, we understood the need for us to not only be able to continue to survive, but give ourselves a shot at growing and expanding. So we looked at expanding out to additional blockchains. We took a look at 5 blockchains to determine which ones were perhaps best situated. We decided upon first Ethereum being our first target, which we're targeting now, and then Polygon in January to expand out to, in December to expand out to, and then loop back around to BNB, basically to flip it over to a V2 version of the contract, which will mirror the updated contract that we're launching on Ethereum. We're really excited about this because basically where we're going to start is we're going to take what we have developed already on the BNB side, bring it over to the Ethereum side and replicate that, bringing it over to the Poly side and replicate that, and then with our new distributed foundation established, really begin to grow from there and really begin to leverage some of the strategic partnerships that we've actually managed to develop. And when I say partnerships, I do mean partnerships as in anyone that we refer to as a partner. It's because they actually share skin in the game with us and share risk of success or failure with us.
Okay, awesome, Dave. Yeah. So we've got also, if we can link the double diamond and triple diamond. So if you invest in the BSC, you can move over to the Ethereum and you'll get extra rewards, a monthly bonus.
Yeah. So and thank you for that segue, Glenn. So really key to understand is, of course, right now the EverEarn BNB chain is a rewards token. The other 2 blockchains will also be reward tokens. On BNB, it's 15% tax. 11% of that goes back to BUSD rewards on the BNB chain. On the Ethereum chain, it'll be 11% in USDC stablecoin rewards, and on the Poly chain, it'll be 11% back in BUSD stablecoin rewards. As we launch on each blockchain, though, we will be running specific promotions. So when we launch on Ethereum, we'll be running a double diamond hand promotion. When we launch on Poly, it'll be a triple tiara takedown promotion. And then when we loop back around to V2, the BNB chain, it'll be a quadruple Queen's Quest promotion. Now, each one of these promotions are essentially the same in their structure, in that we are focusing in on rewarding our diamond hand holders. So those that do not sell or transfer their tokens for a specific 4-week period. And if they don't sell or transfer during that 4-week period, they can continue to buy and grow their bag. But if they don't sell or transfer during that period, then you're going to have diamond hand wallets that will be collecting stablecoin rewards through that 4-week period. And at the end of that 4-week period, all of the diamond hand holders will distributively split all of the stablecoin rewards in all of the diamond hand wallets across all of the blockchains. So yeah, you could be a holder on the BNB side, and if you diamond hand it all the way through, you get a share of all the rewards from those diamond hand wallets across all 3 blockchains. If you're on the if you're on the ETH side, same thing. If you're on the Poly side, when we launch on Poly, same thing. You can choose to hold across all 3 blockchains, of course. But yeah, the idea is really to distributively reward all of the diamond hand holders, because that is really what we're looking for. We're looking for individuals who are looking to invest and invest long term. So we want to make sure over the next 3 months that we really do put a focus on rewarding those diamond handers. Now, when we get into the Poly launch and BNB relaunch in December and January, we'll be tossing in prize pools as well too. And each one of the prize pools is going to have up to 25 prizes, each worth up to $1,000, that will also be applying to those diamond hand holders. And specifically for the ETH launch, because after we launch on ETH, we'll be shifting our focus to Poly. There'll be, of course, the 2% ETH Poly, and then, of course, a private whitelist pre-sale and public pre-sale. So you'll guarantee yourself not only a spot in that airdrop, but you'll also guarantee yourself a spot in those two pre-sales ahead of the Poly launch. So we're really excited because we're really focusing in and honing in on rewarding those who want to hold. So I'm super excited because the potential here is tens of thousands of dollars to be given simply just for holding onto a token and earning stablecoin rewards for holding onto that token already.
Awesome, Dave. Yeah, and you maximize the investors' potential returns with passive income as well, because some wallets we've talked about are closed so that they don't get any rewards. So you've got the 11% BUSD. So compared to other passive income, you're maximizing the returns for investors.
Yeah, and that's a really great point, Glenn, and I appreciate you bringing that up. Yeah, so one of the things we've done is, of course, it's typical. A lot of people get it. Some portion of the supply of tokens is locked for future use, so that when expanding to an exchange makes sense, you can, or if you need tokens for use in future development, you've got them there ready and waiting. You don't have to worry about tampering with the public supply. And we do the same on the BNB side right now. I believe it's roughly 30% of the tokens are set away locked for future use. Now, because they're locked and not owned by anyone, none of that supply is eligible for any of the rewards distribution. Additionally, none of the supply that gets burned is eligible for the rewards distribution, and none of the unowned tokens sitting on right now, PancakeSwap, none of the unowned tokens receive any of the rewards distribution. So we, wherever possible, we've intentionally turned off the rewards not being held by holders, so that while it is 11%, it is the maximum of that 11% actually going to holders. It's not like those future use tokens are then sitting off in a wallet, which is also secretly building up rewards, not ever getting out to the investors. So we really have tried to go to the maximum end to ensure that the vast majority of the rewards being distributed end up in holders' wallets. And the same will apply as we launch on Ethereum, as well as on Poly.
Awesome, Dave. And you've got the EverEarn Academy as well. You've done over 112 individual crypto lessons. You have daily community VCs. So you really involve the community and want to educate people and, find the most potential in crypto to help them make sound investments.
Yeah, it's, we often see it, and it often gets overplayed as saying, oh, we're a community-driven project. Like you see that in just about every low cap and startup out there. Oh, we're a community-driven project. Community. We really, really do honestly try to live that. As you said, we make sure that we're in the voice chat with the community every single day, 9 p.m. Eastern, every single day. One member of the core team, at the very least, is in voice chat in front of the community, 30 minutes to an hour every day. We have our monthly community updates where those who can't be with us on a daily basis for whatever reason have a single point in time every month, the last Friday of every month, where they can refer to a monthly community update, which gives them what we've done over the last 4 weeks and what we're doing over the next 4 weeks. We have, as you've already mentioned, thank you, we have built out our EverEarn Academy, which we've put a lot of time and effort into, over 112 crypto lessons currently and growing. The EverEarn Glossary, which boasts, and because I can't see a screen right now, I believe at the last count, Jason had said we're up to 2,400 individual crypto terms, which currently is the largest number of crypto terms collected in a single glossary anywhere on the internet right now. So we have put a lot of time, effort, and energy into being with our community and helping educate our community, because we really believe that the more information investors in this space have, the smarter the decisions that they can make. And that's really a benefit to all of us, because that's how you combat the scammers and the rug pullers and out there.
Awesome, Dave. And so you're expanding to the Ethereum blockchain, and we should mention to everyone that's joining in the Twitter Spaces today, there was over $2 million paid out on the EverEarn BSC, so that's amazing. So the longevity has been built into it. The team has been growing. So yeah, I'm just wondering what's the plans as you go onto the Ethereum and Polygon blockchains you expand.
Yeah, absolutely. And already mentioned what our initial plan is, which of course is to take what we've got already on the BNB side and replicate it, because you need that starting point. So we will be bringing, after launch to Ethereum and Poly, we will be bringing the stablecoin staking apps. So we do currently have 4 stablecoin staking apps in BUSD on the BNB side. Those will be brought over to the Ethereum and the Poly side, and on the Ethereum side, it'll be USDC staking apps, BUSD staking apps on Poly. We do have the multi-chain browser-based wallet app right now, so that's already available. It doesn't need to be brought across. So right from the dashboard, right within your internet browser, regardless of device, you can put in your wallet address and you're able to see all of your tokens on the BNB, Poly, and Ethereum blockchain right away. Of course, we've got our Flues Trade backed EverEarn swap, which will be updated to allow purchases across BNB, Poly, and Ethereum. Again, no need to download any software because it's all browser based, so you don't have to worry about, why does this app want permissions to my pictures and my text messages? Like this it's all browser based. There's no need to give away everything to an app with us. And then, of course, and the purpose is to again establish that distributed foundation. Now, I've talked about strategic partnerships that we've been developing, and some of those strategic partnerships include a partnership with brick and mortar company in the US, EY Studios, who is a design company, brand design, marketing design, and web design company in the US. And they've been around close to 20 years now. They've worked with hundreds of companies in the real world, developing online solutions and online businesses. So we have partnered with them. They are currently working on our rebranded website and new look and feel. But the relationship will also be expanded to take all of their knowledge and experience towards a lot of the apps that they've developed for the real world. Sorry, I'm just trying to pull a ticket. Press flashing button for ticket. Okay, so I'm not quite sure. Sorry, 1 second. I'm here at the doctor's office trying to park, and the ticket system won't give me a ticket. So sorry, let me just back out real quick. So we are working with them to develop, to see what we can bring into this space. However, not just working with them, but we also have a multi-month partnership with Rug Free Coins, and this is something that we've been very public about, our partnership with Rug Free Coins, a Seifu recognized development team of over 30 developers. Now, they of course have also worked with hundreds of other projects in this space, but they have also worked with real world companies for software development. And we are also in talks with them about what potential software development we can expand to utilizing my real world connections as well too. Now, I want to make sure, Glenn, because I've said this already, that we don't want to falsely hype people. So this is all talks right now. This is development. This is scoping things out, doing due diligence, seeing our options. But it's also important to understand that with your EverEarn team, with the people on this team, these are the conversations and the plans we're working on now. Because a lot of these things, not everything can be done in 30, 60, 90 days. Some things do take many more months on the roadmap to bring to fruition, and many more months of work involved. But the idea, and this is why we've made some of the updates to the contract that we have, the idea is to begin expanding once we've once we've brought all of the blockchains online and looped around to BNB for the V2, is begin expanding what it is the project is doing and supporting in order to create multiple revenue streams, not just from within the crypto space and therefore dependent upon transaction volume, but also what we can bring into this space in terms of income from non-crypto space required transactional volume or income. I alluded to some of the changes that we've made to or updates that we've made to the contract, and that includes the ability to directly inject rewards into the contract, not reliant upon transaction volume, but directly inject whether it's BUSD or USDC rewards into the contract for direct distribution out to investors without any reliance upon chart transaction volume. And we've done this very strategically for this purpose so that we have that option open to us as we move forward. We don't need to release an additional contract. We've also made updates to the contract to allow specifically for the whitelisting of wallets or additional contracts so that, say, for instance, getting onto sell list dexes is something that becomes financially attractive to us. Again, we don't need to relaunch the contract to be able to support that because we already have that mechanism in place to support that. Or if, developing a cross-chain bridge, even though we won't be initially cross-chained, if developing a version of a cross-chain bridge becomes, viable or attractive to us, again, we have sort of the mechanisms in place to be able to support that development without having to relaunch. We are very excited. A lot of this is still, again, in talks. We don't want to overhype it, but, we are actively working on and developing our real world relationships so that we have the ability as we move forward to begin to evolve to bringing software development forward and app development forward that will actually give long-term value and long-term passive income value to our investors.
Okay, awesome, Dave. And you originally had 4 BUSD staking apps. That was on the BSD chain. How did that go for investors? It's going to be expanded for USDT staking apps. How can investors get involved if they want to make money on top of the passive income through the staking apps coming? And how do investors do with the BUSD staking apps?
Yeah, so the BUSD staking apps, of course, we're super happy with. Excuse me. Excuse me. Sorry about that. So the way the BUSD staking apps work right now, of course, there are 4 of them. So unlike the traditional model where you hop on over to the token dashboard and you make your option and then that's it, you're a one and done option. We actually have 4 separate apps. So you have the ability to get into 4 different pools, all of them at the same time if you wish. Now, you are investing or you are staking stablecoin. So you are required to hold EverEarn. And what the apps do is they convert the amount of sorry, one second. What they do is they convert the amount of EverEarn that you hold over to a dollar value. So the way that works is if you hold $1,000 worth of EverEarn, the staking app recognizes that you're holding $1,000 worth of EverEarn, the equivalency in USD, and then you're allowed to stake up to 20% of that value in stablecoin into each one of the BUSD staking apps. So if you hold $1,000, that means you can stake up to $200 in each one of the staking apps. And that's a potential for up to $800 in total invested across the 4 staking apps. Now, because you're not investing or staking EverEarn, that means your EverEarn isn't locked up. You don't suddenly lose access to it. If needed, you could still sell it at any time. If you do sell it while you're in the middle of staking, you don't suddenly get kicked out of the staking app. It will still continue through its cycle timer. But at the end of that cycle timer, if all of a sudden you didn't hold any more EverEarn, then you just can't get back in. All right, so we'll be bringing that same technology and methodology. Sorry, Mars, do you want the stroller? Okay, thanks. Sorry about that. Wife just running the kids upstairs to the doctor. So we'll be bringing that exact same methodology to the ETH side. The only difference is instead of BUSD that you'll be staking, it'll be USDC. So still a stable coin, the number 2 stable coin. And then on the Polygon side, you'll also be then also staking BUSD. So if you're an investor who holds stablecoin, if you're an investor who holds EverEarn across all 3 of our blockchains, then you'll be able to invest into up to 12 staking apps across all 3 blockchains. Now, again, the staking apps are designed to put limits in place so that we are able to ensure that there is a measured amount of investing coming in. It's meant to ensure that, for instance, whales, and we do love whales, but it's meant to ensure that whales can't come in and consume the entire staking pool and push everyone out, because it's really meant to be a point of stable investment for anyone at any level, regardless of where they're buying EverEarn at. So regardless of the price of EverEarn, if you hold $1,000 of Earn, you can invest $200 in a staking app, and you can get, our 90-day pool is giving you back, 59.2% APY on a 90-day pool. So it's a really nice thing that continues to remain available to our investors, so that they're not coming in later at a higher price point and saying, man, I wish there was more that I could do. Well, there is, because we're trying to make these types of tools as inclusive as possible, regardless of when an investor joins us. And again, we'll be replicating that across all 3 of the blockchains as we move outwards. So yeah, I mean, we're very excited. They've worked very well for the last 6 months. Any of the additional income that these staking apps have generated have in turn been used to buy tokens back off the chart at full tokenomics. So it's added green candles to the chart. It's added, more into the reward pool for investors. And then the tokens themselves have either been burned or they've been given back to community investors in the form of rewards, like our weekly community rewards and recognition program that we run, where every single week we recognize a new community member, and we give them 2.5 million EverEarn tokens just for being a hyped up member who's out there, showing their support, helping out in the community, and supporting EverEarn.
Awesome, Dave. And so can we go into the tokenomics for the Ethereum blockchain? Is that slightly different to the BSC? I know the Polygon's going to be the same contract as the Ethereum. Yep. So has there been a smart contract audit? How does the tokenomics break down? And I think, and then in January, you're going to do a V2 of BSC. So all 3 contracts are identical.
So the tokenomics on Ethereum and Poly is 15% buy-sell tax. That 15% breaks down to 11% in stablecoin rewards, 1% liquidity, 1% buyback, and 2% to marketing. That exact same tokenomics is already in place on the BNB chain. The only difference is when we launched back in January, the 15% was a buy, sell, and transfer tax. So we're still on that original contract. So that transfer portion of the tax is still in place on the BNB side. And when we loop around to V2ing the BNB chain, we will be updating it to that contract. So the transfer of the transfer tax there will be removed. Basically, the majority of the updates that are being pushed out, are already pushed out on the Ethereum, because the contract's already been audited twice now, again, it's meant to increase transparency, increase future interoperability, and increase our options with what we can do with the contract in terms of emerging technologies. We are not renouncing contract ownership. We didn't renounce contract ownership on the BNB chain. We won't be renouncing contract ownership on Ethereum or Poly. We do have 9 months behind us showing that we are an active team. We are a developing team. So, not renouncing that ownership is important in order to be able to have the ability to continue to grow. There is a blacklist function on the contract. Let me make that really clear as well too, and you'll see that in our audits. There is a blacklist function. That is really important. One of the common things you'll see in contracts is, of course, any tokens set aside for project use are all locked, sometimes even vested for periods of time. And that's to, alleviate any concerns that the team will be selling the tokens at any rate. But for us, since we're a rewards token, we're not interested in selling the tokens because the tokens generate rewards, right? So you want to hold the tokens. So for us, we have a blacklist function so that any token set aside specifically for project use, like development, operations, marketing, they get blacklisted in the contract. So there is no ability for anyone on the team to transfer or sell those tokens, which we don't want done anyways, but there's no ability to transfer or sell the tokens. There's no ability for someone to be like, oh, look, one of the wallets got hacked and the tokens were taken out. Well, that can't happen because the wallet is blacklisted. So the EverEarn tokens cannot be touched. They cannot be moved. The only thing that the team can use the wallet for is the income that it will generate by taking a bit of those rewards for the purpose of running the project. So we're very happy with that as well. And we have at investor request in the past, we have also been able to use that blacklist function to stop someone's hacked or compromised wallet from being drained of all their EverEarn as well too. But again, just trying to be fully transparent there with some of the things that are in the contract as well. Excuse me, sorry.
Yeah, I think that's amazing. We had Glenn drop off for a second here, but he's coming back right on. So
no problem.
Yeah, I've been actually listening in here, and it's super exciting. It's not the first time, of course. We're talking to Dave here, and I think one of the most important thing is what people see and what when they hear it's EverEarn is wow, these guys have been around. These guys know what they're doing. What has been keeping them around? What's been driving them? What's been happening? So having you on and just showing people what that has been, because in my view, it's the team behind it. Basically, it's the community.
Yeah.
You mentioned, sure, it's the community. I agree with you on that point. But the community has to have some leaders. Has to have someone. Like you mentioned, you're having daily VCs. Who does that? I know you have it on a rotation, and it's not basically you sitting there every day. Grinding it away. But that's the thing, right? When you have the right team, and then the community sees it, and of course they're going to engage, and not to mention all the great stuff you've already put forward in the ecosystem, right? The rewards and everything. So I just wanted to ask you, or maybe tell people, like, what would you say was the greatest success? Was it building the community, earning the people's trust, or how did you manage to make it so far? I would say for anybody listening in the audience, that might want to, I don't know, on board or try their hands at something. What was the secret sauce, if there was one?
Yeah, I mean, and you've brought up some really good points, because let's be honest, the moment we launch something in the crypto space that looks like it could be good, you get 50 copies immediately launching, right? So I mean, I would absolutely say that to date, our secret sauce is definitely our team. We've really gone out of our way. I mean, and I've said this, a dozen times in the AMAs that I've done externally. We don't try to present ourselves as something we're not to our community. So we don't pretend like we're perfect. We don't pretend like we've got that crystal ball and can see the future. We try to be as open and transparent as possible. So part of the purpose of having the daily voice chats with the community is to constantly expose them to our thought process as we work through the map. What are the things that as a core team we're looking at on a daily basis? What are the data points that we're considering? What are the options that we're putting on the table? What type of discussions are we having internally? Last night, actually, in our Friday voice chat with the community, we were talking about the current market and the current state of fear within the market, and we allowed the community to come in and share their opinions with us, and even allowed the core team to just start throwing out some ideas and stuff. And that to us is very important, because the strength of your team and the strength of your community is really a codependent relationship. The community cannot have trust and faith in the team if the team is some, ethereal, mysterious entity out there. We've heard of this guy named Doug, but we've never had a chance to talk to him. We've never seen him. We don't know what he does, right? No, the community knows who Doug is. Doug comes in and does the voice chat twice a week. He talks to everyone. He's a visible person in the team. Same with Wendy and Brandy, Trent and Jason. We maintain a constant visibility within the community, But more than the visibility is we put a lot of time, effort, and energy into ensuring that the community isn't being surprised by what we're doing. So we don't overpromise, we don't overhype, but we also make sure that we're clear. We're clear about what we're thinking. We're clear about what our processes are. We're clear about what our approach is. We're clear about how we zoom out, how we look outward. What are the things that we look for in the marketplace as potential indicators of where things are going? If we know that we need to make a decision that has the potential to be negatively received, we come into the community, we open up the discussion, we don't mute anyone, and we explain our thought process. We explain what it is we're looking at. So a lot of time, effort, and energy has gone into being open and transparent with the community. And then when we feel strongly about something like, expanding, we're getting ready for the potential of continued downtrend in the economics in 2023, and we believe firmly that expanding to additional blockchains is the way to go, just as you would expand if you were a brick and mortar business to ensure that you've got access to the widest amount of customers. We make sure that we're very, very clear in explaining why we believe that is the right way to go long term, and why that'll be a benefit to each investor on every blockchain. And that said, I will take the opportunity to to let everyone know that, of course, the public pre-sale is happening right now. So you can hop over to everearn.net. There's a link to Unicrypt where the pre-sale launch is happening right now. So it is a public pre-sale launch right now. You can hop over and be part of it. And yeah, I mean, that's, from my perspective, that secret sauce isn't one person. It's putting together that mature team who comes in with a rich background of experience, decades of real world experience in various fields, but that very clear understanding that while the team ultimately holds all of the accountability and the ownership to make decisions and then wear those decisions later, the community absolutely has to be a part of the process in reaching decisions. And the community has to be considered like a stakeholder, like a partner in the business. So yeah, that's what I would say for that.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of that, and I feel the sentiment, and I think a lot of people do too, because otherwise we wouldn't be in this place where we're branching out to different chains. We're offering the same things. We're bringing more people on, and again, like you mentioned, this is what I was getting at next. How can people get involved? If they're convinced or not. But like you said, the pre-sales ongoing, and for people that want to learn more or engage more, if you join the Whalecoin Talk Telegram or the EverEarn Telegram or the socials, you'll be able to find that link there. And I believe there was some whitelist spots discussion. But again, with Dave, knowing Dave, like if you guys are interested and if you want to engage, if you want to eventually invest after you've talked to the team, I'm sure Dave will facilitate some spots for anybody that's speaking up or trying to get a spot there.
Yeah, so just to be clear, since you brought that up too, yeah. So whitelist spots were originally given away because originally the pre-sale opened up as whitelist. Of course, with Unicrypt, you have the ability to offer both, so you can start out giving whitelisters first shot, and then once they've had their chance, you can flip it over to public. So that's where we are now. We have flipped over to public. We've already given the whitelisters a chance to get in. So right now it is open to the public. Now, if you are a whitelister, you still have that shot because your whitelist wallet is still uploaded. But we have already given, I think it was 15, 16 hours to get in. So it has now flipped over to public. So anyone can get in. And yeah, come on over to the community, say hi. We have no problem speaking to anybody. But if you want a direct link into the Unicrypt pre-sale, it's just hop on over to everearn.net. It's a big green button on the center of the screen there. That'll take you straight to Unicrypt. So we try to make it nice and easy for everyone.
Yeah, I think that's great. I think we got Glenn back on here, so I'll let him hop back in. But yeah, for me, is like I mentioned, we already had a great AMA in our Telegram group, and a lot of people, gave us some great feedback and everything. So, but we do always say, you do have to do your research, engage with the community, and then if you wanna if you wanna go a step further than that, then that's your choice. But yeah, thank you for indulging me, Dave, and I'll let Glenn take
Yeah,
over.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay, thank you, Axie. Unfortunately, there was a bug or something, I couldn't get to speak there, but yeah, Axie did a great job, and talking with Dave, I was listening in there. So maybe, Dave, if we can go into the marketing, what's planned for the next quarter, and then we can move to Twitter Spaces questions, because there's lots of hands up.
Yeah, no problem. So, I mean, we have formed a number of marketing partnerships with people. We do have almost 56 Twitter influencers that we are currently working with at the moment. And of course, we have got a marketing partnership with Bitcoin.com, which is ongoing right now. So we've got ads and adware running on Bitcoin.com, PooCoin, just so that we can get across around to everyone, as well as Dex tools, plus our almost 56 Twitter influencers that we are working with as well too. EY Studios, of course, which brings in marketing as well. So we've got that running. I mean, obviously, depending on how the markets go, but we've got that running right through to almost the end of the year. So that does cover us, providing the income continues to stay there. Yeah, I mean, so, in terms of things that people can expect moving forward, we do have our roadmap published. We do go almost all the way into the new year, actually into the new year, because B&B's in January. So, yeah, if they do want to get involved, hop on over to the website. Ton of information already posted there. If there's anything that you're not quite sure of, hop into the community. But I mean, we're only going to continue to work on really developing good, solid relationships. We've got, from a development perspective, relationship. We're working with Rug Free Coins and their 30+ development team. We've got Mike the investor, who's signed on as a brand ambassador. He's a really great guy, brings a really solid level of authenticity, plus his over 100,000 followers as well too. But his personality and style really mirrors up to our own. We've got our relationship with EY Studios, which is already, at this point now, a 5-month-long relationship, because that work started a while back. Bitcoin.com that we're working with. And even though Whalecoin Talk is not a official partner, we have also worked a number of times already with Whalecoin Talk, and we do consider Whalecoin Talk a very good support mechanism for us, because again, I've been, Glenn, I've been a big fan of Whalecoin Talk since, well, all the way back since January. And again, what you guys represent in this space mirrors very well with what it is we're trying to achieve, which is why we're always so happy to come back on to Whalecoin Talk and speak to the Whalecoin Talk community as often as we can.
Awesome, Dave. Yeah, it's a great synergy we have. You can see you're genuine and you want to help investors make money. You have a family as well. You want to make money, that's fine. But you do it in an honest, genuine way, where you're lifting all boats, and Whalecoin Talks for educational research purposes. And that's what we try to help investors find strong projects like yours. It's been around a long time. So, it's got the authenticity behind your team that are great, and genuine people that want to make money, but they want to make other people money, and that's great. There's no harm in that, and it's sort of rug free. You've been around 11 months. There's no worries for investors. Should I get involved with this project? So we can always go the extra mile with Whalecoin Talk when we've got these solid long-term projects.
Yeah,
and always recommend other people to work with you as well. So that's awesome. But let's
Glenn, it's sorry, I was just going to say, it's also one of the reasons why, and for those of you listening in the community, it's one of the reasons why you don't hear me saying, oh, let me drop some hot button words, right? Let me drop the word DEX or Launchpad or lottery, right? Because that's what we're not interested in doing. We're not interested in falsely hyping people's hopes. If we come out and we say, hey guys, we're now putting this on the roadmap, it's because it's not only already in development, but it's well along in development, and we're at a point now where we're confident that we can release that information to the community. And that's what we really try to stick to.
Awesome, Dave. Let's open it to Twitter Spaces. I think we've got Aisha. You had a question for Dave at EverEarn. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Glenn. So I was wondering, how will growth of EverEarn on Ethereum or any other blockchain going to benefit EverEarn on BNB? I mean, will some percentage of revenue earned on Ethereum will also be injected to EverEarn on Binance or vice versa?
Great question. Thank you for asking that. And that has been a question that, of course, as soon as we started talking to our community about expanding, our primarily B&B community at the time, that was, of course, their question too. How is this going to benefit us? Like, what direct benefit are we going to have because we're going to expand to Ethereum or Poly? So the answer is quite simple, is that the benefit everyone is that if you're able to get into an authentic and legitimate and scam-free project where the team is legitimately trying to do their best, the benefit to everyone is that that project doesn't shut down, it doesn't collapse. And I mean, and I want to make sure that I'm clear on this, because I mean no negativity to any project that doesn't exist today, but we've seen hundreds of projects over the last 8 months, you know, not scammy, legitimate, really trying their best, but we've seen hundreds of projects, if not thousands of projects over the last 8 months that, due to the economic downturn, have run out of money and they've had to shut down. And a big part of the reason why they've run out of money and had to shut down is because they had a single point of failure, which was they existed on only one blockchain, and therefore were limited in their exposure to their customer base. They could only advertise and expand out so much. So if we look at this from a brick and mortar business, right? It doesn't matter where you're located, whatever town or city that you're in, you've got your street corner business operating there, right? They know that economic tough times are happening, so they do what they need to do. They trim down on staff, they work more hours themselves, they try to bring in more product, offer more deals to attract more buyers. But in the end, they realize and understand that in order for them to not just continue to survive, but to also be able to grow, they need to reach more customers. They need to become more available so that people can buy from them more easily. Expanding to additional blockchains sets that stage. It spreads out our risk of failure by making sure that we have the ability to expose ourselves to the widest possible customer base. Ethereum being, of course, the number 2 blockchain out there, right? And Polygon being amongst the top 5 as well. So we know that as we head into 2023, the odds of a continued economic downtrend are actually pretty high. We know this. All of the indicators are pointing towards this. Businesses are talking about recession in 2023. So we know that the odds of continued economic downturn are quite high as we head into the new year. How is, and this is a valid question that I've been asked for, how will just a rewards token continue to survive if much of the transaction volume on the BNB chain is sucked out and left sitting in stablecoin while investors ride out the downtrend? Well, if you're only on the BNB chain, you don't have an answer to that, because there's nothing that you can produce and throw up on the chart to stick when you're fighting against a global economic downturn. The smart option is to expand your customer base. The smart option is to make it easier for the widest range of audience to be able to reach you, so that when you spend advertising money, you're not just spending it on one blockchain, but you're reaching 3 blockchains or 4 blockchains or 5 blockchains. When you spend development money, you're bringing it to all of your customers across multiple regions. So the direct benefit to our current BNB community, and the continued benefit to any of our investors on any of the blockchains, is that we are spreading that risk of failure out across multiple blockchains so that we don't have a single point of failure that's directly tied to the economy. It also somewhat removes us from single blockchain events like, you know, FTX suddenly doing what it did and how that affected, ETH and BNB, or BNB or Binance having that cross-chain hack. And of course, only the BNB chain was affected. By spreading out to multiple blockchains, you remove some of the negative impact because now you exist across multiple blockchains. So you're able to ride those things out easier. They have less of an impact overall. You continue to increase your survivability and growth odds by making these kind of moves. So to swing back around, the direct benefit is that you are now part of a project that has increased its odds, not just of survival, but of growth opportunity.
Thank you for explaining really nicely. I really appreciate your answer. Thank you so much. Thanks, Glenn.
I loved the question. Thank you.
Thank you for the question, Aisha. Let's move on. I think we've got Captain Levi. You had a question for David. EverEarn, go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Glenn. Can you guys hear me all right?
We can.
All right. Okay, so I'm gonna ask the first question. The first thing I'd like to know is the fact that you were talking about your browser-based application. It actually caught my interest because yes, while most applications usually need those permissions, you say that yours wouldn't. You also said that someone can connect his wallet directly with these browser-based applications. But one thing about browser-based applications is that they usually have a lot of vulnerability. I mean, if it's a regular application, there are more layers of security as opposed to browser-based applications. This is why they are always constantly updating security certificates, online. For example, certificates. Are there any security measures that you have put in place to ensure that the browser and any activities that are carried out there are secure? Because even something as much as connecting to a Wi-Fi network puts a browser-based application under heavy security threats.
Yeah, thank you for that question too, because it's very applicable. So yeah, I mean, of course, our websites have up-to-date SSL certificates applied against them, so they are HTTPS secure. However, and to your point, the wallet browser application is only a viewer, and this is important. So how many of us out there don't have already Trust Wallet, MetaMask, Safe Wallet, right? We've already got wallet apps. We don't need yet another wallet app amidst the myriad of wallet apps already out there. It's an already saturated market. However, many wallet apps out there don't give you a nice single pane of glass where you can view all of the tokens in your wallet, see the 7, 30, 60-day trend, the up and down highlighted by red or green, where you can quickly and easily see all of your BNB tokens on one single screen without having to do, especially on a phone, a million pages of scrolling. So the wallet app specifically is to give you that single pane of glass. It does not offer direct to your digital wallet functionality that you can execute functions on. And that's done for a very specific reason because, again, the wallet app market is already highly oversaturated. So the wallet app for our investors really is meant to be an ease of use and convenience application without exposing them to any security flaws. You don't even need to connect your wallet to the wallet app. You can simply paste your wallet address and get that exact same single pane of glass. But again, to your point, to specifically address security, this is why our dashboard is being hosted on the Rug-Free Coins server as our partner, so that they're able to also monitor everything that's going on and ensure all of the latest patches and security up-to-dates have been applied.
Oh, that sounds good, Dave. That's really reassuring, I must say. Okay, so let's talk about that partnership.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
No, go ahead. You were actually saying something. You wanted to
no, I was just going to say it's the exact same reason why we partnered with Flu's Trade for our token swap, right? Yes, we could have done like so many others have done and tried to reinvent the wheel by creating yet another swap, which is a ripoff of someone else's swap. Or that all works with out there and has proven that they know how to manage and secure the technology, right? And this is where we begin to strategic partnerships, right? We don't try to reinvent the wheel on something that already exists and exists well, but we leverage that technology to make it work for us, and make it work for our investors and bring that ease of use and convenience to them.
Sounds good, Dave. It looks like you guys really drew these blueprints. When we were drawing the blueprints of this project, you really crossed your eyes and dot your T's. I do have another question, but I think my connection is having some glitches, so I think I'm going to just redirect that to your Telegram group. Thank you very much for explaining this in detail. Over to you, Glenn.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Captain Levi. And we'll move on to Ramat. You had a question for Dave.
Thank you, Glenn. Okay, so you are also planning on rebranding EverEarn. So I was wondering, what can we expect from the rebranding, and also how will rebranding help EverEarn to further grow in the future?
Great question. Thank you. Yeah, so the name is not changing, of course, and the logo is not changing. The logo will stay the same shape. But let's be honest. If what we're talking about and what we're all trying to achieve is moving towards mass adoption by the average person, they are really not used to the typical, dark coloring, dark themed meme look and feel that is quite common in this space. To people who are new to cryptocurrency, unfortunately, a lot of the initial reactions are, why does this look like video game stuff and cartoons? Like, I don't understand. If this is a serious business, why doesn't it look like a serious business? And those are the reactions from real people who are not yet in this space. So we are rebranding from the perspective of we are moving away from that dark meme style theme and moving over to a more and traditionally expected light theme. So this is not just, oh, you've got a light theme, dark theme. No. This is a fully supported light theme with specific corporate colors and specific corporate graphics with outlines for what can be used and what cannot be used. We've got a specific sales funnel that is being developed specifically like you would expect to see in a more traditional online business like, say, an Amazon, where there is strategy behind the way everything is placed, where it's meant to take your eye from one area to another, answer your questions as you navigate through so that really you're getting all of the answers before you're even asking the questions. And by the time you get to where you're ready to make a decision, the decision has almost, you've almost been helped to the decision because you don't have any questions left. So it's really meant to take some of the strengths that we've seen in the online business world, and make no mistake, part of the reason why we have someone like Doug on the team is his almost 20 years of experience being an online entrepreneur and being a successful online entrepreneur. So we are bringing a lot of that strength, and through him, we were able to develop the relationship with EY Studios. So there is a lot of time, effort, and energy and science being put into the new branded website. So there'll be a new color scheme, new corporate colors. The name will still stay EverEarn, but the look of the name will slightly change. It will definitely be brand forward and user friendly forward. And how it will help, of course, is that when people are exposed to EverEarn for the first time, what they are going to see is that legitimate business look and feel that is so very common, that people do business with every day online. So there is none of that immediate reaction to, oh my goodness, did I end up on some video game website? Where have I stumbled upon? No. This is going to be something that carries in themes that they are already familiar with brands they already do business with, meant to ensure that there is that level of comfort to help that adoption process, because that's what we're a part of. We're trying to be a part of that mass adoption process, and part of that is understanding that we as a brand really need to project ourselves as the brand we want to be and as the brand we try to be on a daily basis.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for the explanation. Over to you, Glenn.
Okay, thank you for the question, Ramit. Unfortunately, we're running out of time, but it's always great speaking to Dave from EverEarn. Looking forward to the future as they expand into the Ethereum blockchain. Yeah, there is links there. If you click on Dave Rahman's logo, I think they've got the EverEarn.net link there to the website, which will show you all the socials and everything if you want to get involved. The public sale is live for everyone to join in on Unicrypt at the moment, and that'll be running. How long will you be running the public sale for, Dave?
Well, I mean, obviously, the moment it fills, it closes. But given we're already into Friday, we figured the best case scenario, of course, we know Friday people start heading off their computers. They head out for the weekend. They spend time with family over the weekend. So if necessary, we will hold the public pre-sale open through the weekend if we need to. But the team is really putting a concentrated effort in the marketing today, tomorrow, and Sunday, really pushing hard to get that pre-sale closed. Because again, and I will point this out, for us, the measure of success isn't just launching on Ethereum. We will launch on Ethereum no matter what, that is a certainty, but we need to ensure that we guarantee or achieve a certain level of success as part of the launch so that we can continue to move forward down the roadmap and continue to assure everyone that we're able to deliver what it is we've already said we're going to deliver. So for the team, the success isn't the launch itself, because that's going to happen no matter what, but launch the right way and launch confidently. So yeah, if we need to, we'll hold the pre-sale, continue to hold it open through the weekend. This will give anyone who does need a bit of time some time, but make no mistake, the moment that pre-sale is filled, that's it. It's closed. And then we'll take a look at where we are with time of day to determine what is an appropriate amount of time to allow everyone to collect all of their tokens and then move to launch. So yeah, I mean, you could wake up tomorrow and fully expect to see that the pre-sale is now closed and you've missed out. So if you've done your research and this is something you want to do, I definitely wouldn't delay.
Awesome, Dave. I think we mentioned earlier on, Dave and the team have been around for 11 months on the BSC, so it's a very safe, great community environment if you join their Telegram, and they have daily VCs as well. So, this is going to be around a long time into the future, into next year with Polygon and a V2 as well with the BSC in the future. So, yeah, do check out the website and the socials. As we say, Whalecoin Talk, Twitter Spaces is for research and educational purposes. It's not financial advice. But yeah, if you click on Dave Rahman's logo there, it'll take you to the EverEarn.net website. Check it out. Check the white paper out. Go and have a talk with them in the community, in a Telegram, or send them a tweet or anything you want to ask after the Twitter Spaces today. And it's been great speaking to you. And take care and look forward to the future for the team community.
Huge pleasure speaking to the Whalecoin Talk community again, Glenn, and always a great pleasure to talk to you. Really appreciate it. Would recommend you guys to anyone, anywhere, anytime. So you guys are great, and we're big supporters of any group who is also working towards further legitimizing this space. So props to you and your team and your community for doing just that.
Awesome. Thanks very much, Dave. Take care and enjoy your day.
You too.
All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you, Dave, for being here with us. Thank you, Glenn, for hosting. Everybody that engaged. Keep in mind, once the spaces ends, you'll get a list with the speakers, so you'll be able to simply follow everyone there. You don't need to look through the list and randomly click on people. So it's easy to not get lost. Please stay safe out there, guys. And as Glenn mentioned, this is for educational purposes. And what we do here at Whalecoin Talk and the Aquarium and all the content we put forward on our socials and YouTube and everything is simply for educational purposes. And we strive to bring people such as Dave here that are honest, that are building something cool for us, even in these market conditions, right? To simply put something out there for people to engage with, to show people that crypto is not dead, and that there's a lot of goodwill in the space, and a lot of good builders out there still still doing their thing. So thank you everybody for tuning in today. This has been a great one, and thank you to the EverEarn team for being here with us. So take care, everyone. We'll post the recordings and everything on our socials for anybody that missed out. And we're gonna have another host coming up soon, I believe, in about an hour. So stay tuned for that one. And take care, everyone. Cheers.